Pisces, welcome back for your reading. Those of you who are new, welcome back. I'll wait for people to connect. Now, yes, I do have a TF update to do. I haven't had time yet. I'll try and do it tonight, which will be in America, your morning, okay? I have had clients and I've been trying to get on top of the September reads. If you're wanting a private booking, you can go to the link directly below. We're going to get into the energy of what's coming through both psychically, intuitively, astrologically, and through the cards. Now, the interesting thing is when you look at Pisces on the wheel, it falls in the 12th house. 12th house. Now, I've always said, and I've noticed this through a synchronistic pattern through developing my psychic gifts, 12th house activation can be very interesting. Now, technically, it's falling in your first house, but collectively, it's the 12th house. Your 12th house is your subconscious mind, right? Also, in a chakra sense, it's the crown chakra. And I picked amethyst for this month, so you can't make this up. So keep your fluids up, okay? You do tend to find, and you may actually have had an energy where you felt like you've hit the ground last month. That is because when you're having big revelations, downloads, and you've reached an end of a karmic cycle, your life is about to change, and it's everything about you has evolved. It no longer exists. It's like a spiritual funeral. It's like a spiritual walk-in. It's like, bang, I've shifted, I've changed. So you guys are shifting energetically, and I haven't even pulled your cards yet. I've pulled one card. I'm also seeing you guys, and I'm going to find out whether this is going to come through in the cards, because some of you I am seeing, and I mentioned this in the previous read, but for you guys, you've been waiting for this energy to shift. You might have been focusing on a home and wanting that energy to change, but it's been like the doors have been blocked. The doors have been blocked because you were ready to go through the state, okay? So the reason why the energy hasn't been moving for you is because you needed to reach this end cycle to get to this point where you reach that point spiritually, right? You're now getting ready to have that happen. So if you guys have felt as though you haven't been able to move and it's been really arduous energy, it is for a direct reason. You were ending cycles, you were processing things, and you were going through a 7-stage of healing. Now, a lot of things are shifting for you guys. You know, with the Pluto energy, don't be surprised if, especially with your subconscious mind being activated, you might be thinking back to loved ones that have passed over all of a sudden. Because although it is the planet of birth, death, resurrection, Neptune also you do tend to find, you know, when it's retrograde, you sense passed over loved ones more so. With that, if you've been thinking onto maybe what passed over loved ones might have said, correlating with the situation you're going through, it's because your subconscious mind is communicating with the other side, okay? So if they're telling you things and you're remembering back to potentially what their advice might have been, they're trying to communicate with you, okay? I'm going to put that, I'm going to leave that to the side. And I'm going to pull another one for you guys because we've got a similar card to the last. Interesting. How are we all? You got the elephant totem, but it's in reverse. And we had that for the last read. So I've left it there, but I pulled another one. It's okay. We haven't really started yet. We're just doing chit-chat. And I'm pulling the cards as I go, and this will be the last one for today, and then tomorrow morning I'll do a TF update. Because I do have clientele, and I've been fiercely trying to reshuffle the website, clients' bookings, preparing for October as well. I'm multitasking to the max. Plus I've had the flu for 3 weeks, which really doesn't help. Get old 12th house. Should always check where your 12th house is activated, okay? Where Pisces is, okay? What Pisces is doing if you have Pisces in your chart. That's where you're having a shift energetically. I don't know how I do it either, You know, I was thinking maybe an electric wheelbarrow would help. I think that would really help. I wouldn't mind one of those, but I think we all collectively feel that right now. They say don't think, just do. So I'm just doing it. I'm pushing forward and trusting the process. It feels batshit crazy. I'm smiling through the grinding teeth. Not to do with you guys, in general life. We're grinning and bearing it. This could be what Pisces is doing. Because whenever I take on a vibration, as I said, you're tuning into an energy, you're grinning and bearing it and you're pushing through, okay? Now, 12th house activation, you guys could have been going through a purge of a lifetime. You may have felt run down, unwell, sick. 12th house. Yeah, I'm feeling you. Okay. Now, your first energy you have is pleasure, okay? Your first house that's come up as a clarifier, interesting, you have is pleasure. Now, this is to do with Mercury. Now, when we say this chakra, it is correlating and connecting with Mercury, which is communication, movement. It's also at an astrological sign. It's Gemini and Virgo energy, which we just did receive. The Virgo moon energy coming through, really trying to prepare us to get things in an organized sense. So with that frequency, it's your abdominal area. Eating orange food groups is what's going to balance it, especially with Uranus going retrograde at the same time as Jupiter went direct, physically direct, out of shadow. What you're going to find is the things that you were directly investing in are changing, okay? So when we look at that planet, it's connected to the wider group: religion, rebellion, enlightenment, addictive tendencies, adultery, and tribe. Going retrograde, and it's in Taurus. So Taurus for you guys is, and I'll try and explain the reason why I'm mentioning this to you guys, this is your third house. So your third house in that area is Mercury. Communication, self-expression, short journeys. Like, how do we move this forward? 12th house activation, getting run down from it, trying to keep the ship going, trying to keep the communication going. How can it go on without... what's that song? I'm hearing a song now. How do we go on with this level of communication? You know, if it keeps up at this level, how are we going to continue? Like, so you're processing, you're working in the 3D, and then it's like you hit a wall and you get run down because you're like, even if you wanted to fight it, you got no more fight left to give, which is good because it's detachment. Detachment has come about. It's falling in your first house. You have nothing more to give. You're like, I'm spent. I have nothing more to give. The blue coming through in the card is in reverse with the Pisces moon. Now, it connects to cooperation instead of contemplation. It's like, look, I've done all I can. I'm stepping the frick back. You have reached a point of a spiritual awakening. You also now want the vibration to be different, but you know it takes two to tango. This can be external situations, people, work. You're like, you name it, it's on. Now, I pulled an animal totem card for this area. You had elephant in reverse. You don't feel connected to this tribe. You're trying to, but they're not working with you. Something's not working, something that's not meshing. You might have become unwell where you couldn't be on board with certain situations. Elephant in reverse. The next one you got is let go of control because you're tired. You're like, look, penny little, the world is falling down. I'm trying to keep my head above water. I'm putting my neck out there. Something hasn't healed yet, but it's not for you to heal. Keep check on yourself. Detach from that. You got your purple, which is going to clear your chakra, clear your crown, receive the download, and understand there's a method to the madness. By the Libran moon, again, you've got the purple coming through, and it falls in your 9th house. Mid-month, Saturn is going direct. Very shortly after, we have Pluto going direct, and they're working together. They're making a conversational piece. They're like, we're pushing you forward whether you want it or not. any situation that isn't meshing, merging, sorting is going to be moved, right? Be it you want it or not. It's like Abraham Hicks talks, you know. You're going down the rapids, so you're going to fight against it, or you're going to go with the flow and get to the end because you're going to end up there anyway. That's what's happening. Now, guidance in reverse. Support, love, signs, and direction. You're not trusting in what the download was. Because, and I've said this the whole way through when I've been doing these videos, it's like what you're sensing isn't matching what's happening on the 3D. So how is that potentially taking you to that destination, event horizon? You need to retreat, okay? Allow universe to work its magic. Spirit of water. Detaching from it, don't get triggered, allow what's happening to occur. Now with your 8th house, Libra is your 8th house. Life, death, money, legacy, will, and the ability to rebuild. That's Pluto, eat your heart out. Which is what I said, you know, between the 18th and the 2nd of October for you guys, it's shifting to resolve these situations. Trust, you're going to need to step back and you're going to need to let the bridge fall down, okay? Now, very separately in your career sector, your finances, things you're working on, you've repeated a storyline in your head. Egoic experience, which I'm not saying you're an ego. I mean more you're processing something from your 3rd eye. No more complaining because you've worked over the same subject matter, whatever they are, and you've reached a point where it can exhaust you. In detachment, what happens is things that are meant to be there for you move towards you between now and the end of the year. And it's in the ethers, okay? So it's really important for us to have our meditation in the first 2 weeks of September. And if you feel you're on an incorrect timeline or something's happening in your life and you're like, oh, I'm not too sure about this, setting the intentions of what you wish it to be, asking Source, Universe, God, Gaia to help, and place it as a knowing, and you shall receive. Something spent, okay? You're concerned because energetically you know you need to start reacting to situations. It can be at a financial level, at an employment level, and you're like, I'm running out of time. Now, I feel this is between the beginning of the month and mid-month because you will receive the vibrations of Saturn. You're going to let go and you're like, look, you know what to do from here. You're going to start shifting things forward. You hear the clock ticking and you've got the two angels behind you. You've got 2 guys behind you on the other side. And you've got the clock and it's ticking in her ear. I feel this is, you will know when to react to a situation. You're going to have a light bulb moment. Now, I'm also feeling you may work into the late hours on this subject matter. And this is where you're going to start seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Because something very separately, and I feel a shift in many areas. Again, when we're saying home, moving of home, it doesn't have to be that you're physically moving your house. The energy in that's going to be different. But it can be that you're moving home or you're dealing with a home-related dynamic. There is foundational changes we're making. So when there's an energy coming through, especially if you're listening to a reader and they're saying you're moving home and you're looking around going, no, I'm bloody not. What's going on there? You'll know if you are because you start throwing things out. You start packing. But at a separate level, there's something on the home-related environment where you're facing your fears about it, but you're having to address it and look at it, okay? If you're having dreams about a home, it also is connected to who you are as a person, especially with the 1st house being activated for you guys with Pisces moon. So who you are is changing. What your needs are changing. And some of you may be moving house, okay? The energy of where you wanted to shift and how you wanted that to look like with the people or person you wanted it to be with, it's moving towards the bigger picture. Now, if you felt very detached or universe has detached you away from people and you felt like you've been stuck away from individuals, It's because you're having a mass awakening in a section of your journey. And that is there for a particular reason. You need to trust that. It's preparing you for what's to come. It's like a mini holiday for a purge and an upgrade to move you forward for who you're going to be. And that has happened to me. And I've been scratching my head going, why is this happening? You know, I had lost a job. I had moved house. I ended up moving in with my mother. And I was like, why is this happening? Like, I was applying for jobs and I was going to try and do different things. Nothing I was doing was working. And I went, and of course, being psychic, I'm like, there's got to be a reason this is happening. Now, why am I fighting against it? I need to swim with this ocean. There's a lesson in it. And then I looked at it and I thought, I may never live with this person again. This moment I have not been holding relevant and valuable. And even in the darkest hours, they are very valuable too, because they're serving a purpose. We need the polarities. And I thought to myself, there is a potential I may never live with my mother again. And I thought, okay, look at it as it's going to serve a purpose. And it served a purpose in a sense of the people that were around me at the time. We were transitioning through a state. We were perceiving things very differently. We were evolving and we were really triggering each other. So the people that are in your environment right now are key to a point in your journey. They're key to a point of what's changing, and it can feel quite scary and very alone at times, but it's very temporary, trust me. The more you swim into that, the more you will come out of it on the other side a lot quicker. But when you fight it, it delays it and it prolongs that process because you're missing the lesson and the reason why it's occurring for you, but you don't see it that way at the time. Okay, loss and doubt, crowding energy. And this is with your romance. So in general, with love, you're at a loss. Again, 12th house. Going through the 7 stages of healing, hitting rock bottom, getting sick, getting run down, going into hermit mode. Yeah, this is where you are at, right? And you're like, can this even be a possibility? At the heart of the matter, it's fatigued you because you didn't need to do anything, okay? Our belief is, unless we're doing something, nothing's happening, yet the sun rises and falls every day. It's 2-3D, but we're not looking at Mother Nature, the laws of attraction and the way things happen. Sometimes you didn't need to do anything at all. Sometimes the things that you were doing were blocking the movement forward. There is a reason why this is happening. Now, in your mind, you know this is connected to past life karma, changes, a cycle is evolving, okay? And they're going to be big changes, and you may intuitively feel it. You're like, oh, I'm sensing this is coming. Now, collectively, yes, this can be so too, especially with the Pisces frequency with the moon. Very separately, directly for Pisces, you guys are having a cycle that is about to reach a turning point. On the outside in your world, there's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of, you're just all up in your head, but you're visually seeing how people are relating to environments. You could even be tuning into your love interest and thinking, oh, you've got a lot going on there. You have a lot going on there, and it doesn't feel fair, and you might have been having that empath aspect towards them, but you can't fix it. They need to do it themselves. You may even now start finding it quite amusing. In their mind, they're like, but I was independent. I'm independent. You know, I can do this. I'll handle it. Everything's going to be okay. But deep down inside, there's another energy going on. External, they're thinking this is, they're being forced to have a change. They're being forced to change certain things because they will lose this if they don't. Now, the 3D anchored energy is both of you are trying to be patient. We really hate that term, especially in spirituality. But patience isn't, you know, I even looked at the word patience very differently today, and it was like, would you buy a rotten apple and say it's going to be made into an apple pie? No, we wouldn't. Would we pick an unripened apple to make an apple pie today? No, we wouldn't. But that's what we do when things aren't balanced. And then when we hear the term patience, we need to get back to the very basic theory of, are we buying an apple that is a seed waiting for the tree, waiting for the apple. And we know the process because we've already gone through that process. But we're trying to pick it prematurely when we're actually almost at picking state here. That's what I'm seeing. In their heart, and this is, I'm telling you, I don't know what's up with this. This 12th house is affecting a lot of people's hearts because we knew how something was going to go, okay? And counterparts energy knew this too. They had the download, and this is collective energy coming through as well because every read has either had the intuition card or the psychic card come up in the heart space, which is freaky. It's like, why the hell is this happening? They knew something was going to happen, okay? Yeah, they're being independent. Yeah, when it comes to you, they knew at some point something would have to give, okay? We've got the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, family and work, love and work, finances. They knew, okay? External. They might be doing something like eat, pray, repeat. But initially, it was full of love. Now what they've been focusing on, they hold no love to anymore. So it's evolving them, and they're a little bit scared. They knew this was going to happen, and it's got nothing to do with you. It's all to do with an external scenario. It's quite frightening for them, but it has been a spiritual blockage for them. It's what they were putting their energy into versus this at this point. And there was quite singular energy coming through in the last 3 months from the perspective of we were healing, we were dealing with work, balancing situations, correcting our foundations. This person has reached a clarity point. You physically, Pisces, you're rebuilding a situation. You're like, look, you're ready. You're prepared. You had your moment where you hit rock bottom. You're now getting to a more grounded state. You know that there's a situation that it's going to come down. Okay, so it's a matter of time. You're aware of this. You're in acceptance of this truth. As long as you choose not to take this situation personal, which is pretty bloody hard, it's going to balance out. It's a matter of time, especially with the clock coming through in your read. All right, where is it? It's in one of these cards. There. You know it. You feel it. You don't want to hear anything through the grapevine. You want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I feel that there's been, again, it's the Mercury energy coming through. There can be miscommunication. Then intuitively, you're going to feel it. You're going to know what to do by mid-month. And I really feel as though some sense of solutions are going to come through to you. And it'll be like, why didn't you say that before? You may even find this amusing. And it's funny because you're crowning energy. There's Ascended Master, which is getting your downloads, 12th house. Now, wherever an imbalance of integrity is, it's going to be found. Mercury, throat chakra activation in reverse. You don't need to say anything. You need to wait for this to resolve. This is not your karma, okay? This is their past life energy. It's not yours. Allow this to transition. Look, you're looking at it 2-3D. Okay, this card says be willing to forgive. It might have been an energy where you thought it was very about you and this person. It's something completely different, but you may feel that it's not. What is going on is they're cutting the cords to these karmic energies. They're battling some demons and scenarios. It's not about you proving yourself. That's what I'm being shown. Express your divine energy. Embrace its magical intuition and nurturing guidance. You can't nurture this yet. And I feel this is between now and the Libra moon. After that, I feel the energy is going to shift. Why is this coming through? What is to occur? Oh. Okay, release. You don't need to do anything. Release. Something's going to go down on their side of the fence. You won't see it coming. Okay, this could be a tower moment. I'm going to pull from this deck here. Heart chakra, earth angel, and third eye in reverse. What is this? Yeah, upheaval. Okay, moving. Something is shaking your side of the fence or their side of the fence up to shift this. So be prepared, but the shake-up is to move this. Now, again, look at the crystal ball with the butterflies. There is a transformation that's coming and you know this. You're going to sense it. It's to create the foundation. It's inside you. You already know what's going to come. You just won't see it. It's bang. It's going to be there. And it will be an ending of a situation. But potentially they're not wanting it to be that way. But by blocking it, it's going to end up that way. So I don't feel they can change the fact that this, especially with Saturn and Pluto going direct. I think even if they are trying to avoid something, and this can be on your side of the fence too, you can't avoid change. Change is coming, but it is for the betterment of this situation. I can say trust the process, but when it does come to who you are and the fact that you are changing, and the fact that the 8th house is activated, being your life, your death, your money, your legacies, your will, and the ability to rebuild, something completely is ending in order to come to a new beginning for the rebirth. But you need to allow that. At the moment, I feel you guys are struggling with that. You're holding on, but it's what you want. You've sent it to the ethers. You're just not understanding that what you're feeling, because the crown is showing you the 5D, but you're like, then why is this happening like this? And we've got 155 here, which means change, big change. Why is what I'm feeling versus what I'm experiencing, that can't be taking me to that destination. Something is fully ending in order to have its rebirth. Okay, but you need to let that happen. Love and light.